Ambulance. As Jake knows, whenever I interview him, I have to bring up something, and it's called Zodiac. And I was trying to figure out a new way to tie Zodiac into Ambulance, and I think I got it.
Okay.
Wow.
Can you compare a little bit, because Bay and Fincher are so radically different.
Similar.
Very
Yeah,
similar.
identical.
Exactly. In fact, they're so similar in the way that they work, with the amount of takes and the slowness to the speed. Can you sort of compare and contrast Bay and Fincher?
What, in technique?
However you would like to do it.
That.
Good luck.
Well, actually, I would say, you're talking about two auteurs, right? I mean, that's what I don't think people would necessarily consider Michael Bay to be that, but or he wouldn't be deemed that, but I do. In the action genre, I think he's an auteur, and his style in working
100%.
is about capturing what is alive and real in a moment. And I think outside of Fincher and comparatively Bay, I think every great director that I've worked with is going after what is honest. They're great because that's what they're trying to do, whether it's in the frame, which I know Fincher spends a lot of time focused on, but Michael does too, in a totally different way. They're actually radically similar in them following energy that they feel is honest.
I am a big fan of Michael Bay, and I agree with what you're saying. He's such a unique filmmaker because he pivots in the moment into whatever he sees.
Yes.
And I'm curious, for all three of you, what is it like to work with someone who will be like, okay, let's just go on the highway right now, and we're going to film this, and I need you to learn these lines, and go.
I think it's really artistic.
Yes.
I mean, I know
totally.
that sounds kind of like it's sort of not this, but it felt really artistic to me.
Totally, absolutely.
It was like, this is a whim. I'm going to go over here.
Yeah.
Let's go. And because
You got to jump on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be game and just stop asking questions.
Yeah.
Just stop asking
I
questions.
never asked any questions.
And just say, okay, this is how this. Like after about 2 days, you get to sort of understand. Oh, this is how this movie works. So this is how making this movie works. Because it was different for me. It was for sure different for me. Like a director who improvises. Most of the directors that I've had, it's all been storyboarded and planned out, and you have a little bit of delineation from like the things that we plan to do, a little bit. But Michael is really, he has the plan, and then he's working from inspiration at the same time.
Yeah, and there was days that we were, I mean, as an actor is sort of a great gift. Sometimes you become comfortable with this rhythm of what you're going to shoot in each day, and sort of you build slowly to that. And I think that we learned really quickly on day 2 or 3 that basically there was days that he would pull up and he's like, we're going to do scene 45 of and we're like, wait, that's slated for 3 weeks. He's like, I don't know, I got to shoot it right now because I have an idea and just came into my mind and you got to do it. So as an actor, you're sort of over-prepared in advance now.
Not me.
And now, not him, but us, we were, of course. He's never prepared. But, and then you really are just like, fuck it, let's go. Like, let's do whatever we gotta do.
Swearing in this interview, Steve.
Sorry, Jesus, you
I don't
opened
like
this
what
can
you've
of worms.
encouraged.
I'm very
Yeah.
sorry.
I refuse to.
Anyway, yeah.
The surgery scene in the ambulance in this film is I almost cursed, but I pulled myself back. It is effing crazy.
They actually, I'm not in that scene, but they used my spleen.
It was his. Yeah, he donated
Just so
it.
you know, I sort of
for the
am
art.
in that scene, but like I'm not given the credit that I deserve.
Yeah, Jake did it for the love of art.
I didn't know that, this is very interesting that this is the movie you were willing to donate the spleen
It
on.
is, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Of all the movies.
It was this one.
But I am curious, what was it like actually filming that sequence? Because it's such a nail biter. I had to look away from the screen a little bit.
I had to look away from the job a little bit.
I wanted to look away and I couldn't.
Yeah. It was. I mean, what was that like for you?
I mean, for both of us, it was yeah, I mean, you don't really know how to play something like that at the moment, right? It's like, do I go overboard? Do I just, and it's just like, more blood, more blood. It's like, I don't understand what's happening. Like, it was such a strange scene to film, because also he just started adding things, like when he wakes up, you punch him.
Oh, that was added.
He
Oh,
was
yeah,
added,
yeah,
it was in
that's
the
true.
script, and he was just like, punch him, and we're like, wait, what? He's like, just let him wake up. I was like, what? And your hand's gonna be in his stomach, and at that point, you're just like, let's go. But it was cool. I mean, it's an incredible. It's one of my favorite scenes that I've ever done. It's just, it looks so real because of the way he shoots it. He just, and I think one really cool thing that I've noticed that happens in this movie, looking back at his work before, is because of the contained space that we had within the ambulance, it kind of forced him to change a little bit the way he shoots and his shots. Usually he's very open with his shots, and he's so close in our faces in this movie because there's no actual space for him to do it, that it gives so much, the scene so much anxiety, and it adds like this vibrating handheld shots that it really built that scene more than it felt on the day. But it was fun.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We had so much fun, and it was a good, we were throwing around things and just doing wild
I will say
stuff.
what I was upset about was that I had heard a lot about the bullhorn, the Michael Bay bullhorn.
Oh, yeah.
It just never really
We didn't
appeared.
have it. Yeah.
So you never, because I've been on set watching him work, and I've seen a Bayhem moment
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
he got really upset.
Yeah.
And then, but I've also seen him be the closest to the explosions with his own camera,
Yes.
holding it to make sure the shot is perfect.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes, there is amazing quality to him in that. I remember there were like 4 or 5 shots where he said, "Oh, that's in the trailer." He'd be shooting it, and he'd
Yeah.
go, "That's in the trailer. It's in the trailer." You're like, I'm trying to
Say
can
lines.
I not? Can you just, you're going, I'm acting, and then it's like, that's in the trailer, and he's like, and I'm like, oh, dude,
Mike, I'm not thinking about the trailer
Yeah.
right
But
now.
sure
man.
enough,
But I can pay motion.
sure enough, a number of those shots are in the trailer.
Yeah.
Speaking of cool shots, this movie has shots that I've never seen in any film because of the drones.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm curious,
yeah.
what was it like as actors? How often were you, talk a little bit about the drones, and what was your reaction when you saw what he was doing and the guys with the visual glasses and everything?
Also, that the guys with the visual glasses are like 14 years old.
It's incredible the stuff. I mean, truly, it's
14
incredible
years
the
old.
stuff they're doing. I mean, they're drone racers. I mean,
Impressive.
essentially, like they're racing those drones, and then now they've transposed that into filming it. But I mean, some of those shots down the buildings, down the sides of the buildings,
Under the
following
cars
cop
when they're
the cars,
jumping.
and then also, I'd never worked with drones inside. A lot of the heist is drone work, flying by you, as you're running out I mean, there are 3 shots in a very small quarters where they're actually drones. And the first shot that I did was in the bank, was a drone coming at me. And then them just saying to me, like, as soon as it gets close enough, you should really, they'll get out of your way, but you should probably too, And so, we said, we rolled and action, and then it sort of started coming to me. It was about 1,000 yards away, and I just dropped to the floor. So yeah, I was courageous.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
so crazy.
it's cool, I mean, that doesn't really do it justice if you say, well, what is it like? It's really cool, So there's moments on this film where where you can, if you haven't seen it done before, you can definitely lose a take watching the show, like watching the movie being made,
Yeah,
because
totally.
there's a lot of just really cool moments in the making of it.
At any given moment, they're like
Yeah.
2 dudes, just like their eyes, but they're just sort of wandering
Who
around.
are
You have
14
no
years old.
idea what they're
Which
doing.
is impressive. They're so young. You walk in and they're like, huh? And with the like little cops, and we're like, who are these kids? And they're like, oh, they're the cameraman. I'm like, huh? And they're just like in there and zzz, like paid off to play all those video games when they're growing up. And they're, future massive filmmakers. They're so good. The shots are incredible.
Yeah, and Michael doesn't have an ego. He's like following the experts. I
Yeah.
think that's just another example of the way that he works.
On that note, I need to stop. I'm just going to say congrats on the movie.
Thank you, man.
And hope to, thanks for everything.